fucking way. Throwing bets like haymakers. UFC fight night, no faking these heartbreakers. Punch stats, bankrolls, and scorecards never fold. Etoft21sports talking bold like this catch and gold. Erik saying underdogs got swagger. Weight counter champs got a clan and jaw won't stagger. Money on the line, bets as sharp as a dagger. Hot tops, bling, flashing lights, heavyweight bagger. Etoft21 clash of minds, no surprise. Erik Blade in the ring, shouting on, shooting high. Fight night dreams, cold cash gleam in their eyes. Betting broad, UFC calls on the podcast sky.
We reached part of the podcast. We'll be talking some UFC Vegas 114, and who better to come on than the man, the myth, the legend, the pride of California, Wade, aka Proven Wagers. Wade, how you doing today, my friend?
Doing pretty good. As you and I are sitting here watching all of our basketball games, struggling
grinding out Toledo right now, minus the points.
Oh man,
grinding it out. UFC is here. We're going to dive into this 114. Those watching or listening for the first time, for the first time, what we do is we each have 3 bets. Then we give a DFS lineup. So let's jump right into it. Wade, first bet. Talk dirty to me, my man.
Yeah, I'm going to go to the Jose Delgado versus Andre Fili matchup, and I'm going to go with Delgado by knockout at plus 105. And this is a featherweight matchup here. Andre Fili enters with a 25-12 record, and he's been a UFC mainstay in the featherweight division for years. He's a pretty well-rounded fighter who mixes in striking with wrestling, and he has solid takedown defense, sitting right at 71%. Jose Delgado, however, does bring a very hungry and aggressive striking style. Delgado lands an impressive 8.22 significant strikes per minute with a striking accuracy of 54%, showing how well he can stand on the feet with high volume and efficiency. While Delgado does absorb more damage than Fili, I think his willingness to pressure opponents and throw combinations does open himself up to finishing his opponents, and especially going against an aged fighter like Andre Fili, I think he can do just that. His striking pace alone has been seen to overwhelm opponents who do struggle to match his output. Fili's experience in grappling could slow this fight down a bit, but I think his years of fighting damage overall, if Delgado keeps this fight a distance at all and doesn't allow Fili to mix in the grappling exchanges, I think his power and volume is just going to overwhelm Fili, and we can see a knockout, I think, probably in the first 2 rounds.
I like it. We're talking about Seton Hall and St. John's before we get started. St. John's just started the half with a nice little 11-2 run.
Beautiful.
My first bet, I'm going to the opener. I'm going to take Rodriguez here to win via decision, plus 105. Really involved in a fighter who wins rounds with volume rather than chasing finishes. If you look at her recent results, the pattern's pretty clear. Last 2 victories came by decision, a split decision win over Sosa in 2025, and a unanimous decision over Gustafsson in December of 2024. That tend to lines up with her overall career as well. Rodriguez has 6 decision wins out of her 11 total victories. She's never won by submission. Lately, her path to victory has been more consistent, push a high pace, land volume on the feet, mix in some wrestling when needed, let the judges decide. This matchup is also a rematch. Rodriguez and Hughes first fought back in 2022. Rodriguez won the fight by unanimous decision. It was competitive, but she clearly edged the rounds with her activity and striking output. Both fighters are also known as durable. Hughes is tougher, difficult to finish. Rodriguez typically fights at a steadier pace rather than hunting knockouts. Because of that, the betting market heavily expects this fight to go the distance. The over 2.5 is extremely juiced. From a stylistically perspective, Rodriguez should have the advantage on her feet, more of a technical striker, throws a wider combination of punches and kicks. Hughes can mix in some wrestling pressure, but Rodriguez has solid takedown defense, around 73% for her career. And if she can also keep this fight standing, plays directly into her strengths. What we are looking at is a gritty 3-round fight where Rodriguez is landing at slightly cleaner, heavier shots while keeping a higher volume. It may not be the most explosive fight in the card, but those are exactly types of matchups where Rodriguez tends to win rounds and takes decisions. So instead of laying the price on the money line, the value angle for me is Rodriguez by decision. Her recent wins, the rematch history, and the market expectation that this fight goes a distance all point to that outcome. Next fight, my friend. Talk to me.
Yeah, I'm going to go to the co-main event here. Amanda Lemos against Jillian Robertson. And I'm going to go with Amanda Lemos here at plus 176. Best odds you can find over on Novig. We'll talk about her first. She does enter this matchup with a record of 15-5-1, and she remains one of the more dangerous strikers in the women's strawweight division, even at the ripe age of 38. Lemos does land 2.75 significant strikes per minute with an impressive 55% striking accuracy, which displays the efficiency that she can bring inside the octagon. Now, her opponent, Jillian Robertson, she comes into this fight with a 16-8 record, and she brings a very different skill set to the matchup. Robertson is one of the most grappling heavy fighters in the division. She averages 2.74 takedowns per 15 minutes while constantly hunting to get her opponent to the ground for submission opportunities. And this is a clear stylistic contrast. Lemos wants to keep this fight standing where her striking power can become a deciding factor, where Robertson's going to want to close the distance, secure some takedowns, and try to control the fight on the mat. In most instances, I would actually side with the grappler, but I do think Lemos's experience could be a factor here. One key statistic to watch here is Lemos's 64% takedown defense. If she can consistently defend Robertson's entries, I think this fight should remain in striking range where Lemos could compromise Robertson over the course of 15 minutes. And, Robertson's path to victory really does rely on getting the fight to the ground early and maintaining top control. But if she does struggle to secure takedowns, I think Lemos' striking advantage is just going to allow her to dictate the tempo of the fight and perhaps get her a victory from the judges.
I believe I am frozen right now.
Yeah, you look frozen.
Am I frozen right now, man?
You are frozen.
Can you hear me though?
I can hear you.
You can hear me, but I am frozen. All right, dude, I'm telling you, it's the freaking
yeah, you're good.
Hurricane. It's the hurricane here, dude.
I don't know what's going on out there. It's 95 degrees out here. I'm about to go walk to the beach after this recording, so I don't know what's going on.
Dude,
you are cutting in and out a little bit.
Chicago weather, man. Chicago weather. All right, let's go ahead. Let's just knock this out, grind it out. Apologize to everyone. My next bet, I am going with Lasarda plus 205, another spot on the card where I see some value. This fight is a classic grappler versus striker match up, and those are often at the fights where the underdog can pull off the upset if they can force the fight into their world. Lasarda is a Nova Ulana product with a high-level jiu-jitsu, and that numbers really back that up. 11 of his 13 career wins have come by submission. His game is built around closing distances, clinching, getting the fight to the mat, and attacking submissions once the scrambling starts. We saw that recently in his last fight in October of 2025 when he submitted Oliveira with an armbar in the second round. That performance was important because it came after a rough start to his UFC run against tough competition like Stanman and Blackshear. It also showed he's still dangerous where he can fight where he wants to. On the other side, Sosa is very exciting prospect with explosive striking power, but there are a couple of reasons I'm willing to fade him here. First, the short notice UFC debut. There's plenty of fighters struggle in that situation, whether it's dealing with the weight cuts, the nerves of the octagon, or just adapting to this level of competition. And honestly, I wasn't really overly impressed with his performance on the Dana White Contender Series. The striking is powerful, but also aggressive, forward moving, which can actually play into Lasendo's game if he's able to time entries and bring the fight with the grappling exchanges. From a stylistic standpoint, Lasendo's path to victory is clear. He needs to survive the early striking, close the distance, and start turning this fight into a grappling match. Once it hits the mat, that's where he becomes extremely dangerous. He's consistently chasing subs, attacking from scrambles, forcing opponents to defend rather than build offense. He has effective leg kicks. I also think he's going to be able to defend takedowns repeatedly, make him work the stand-up that is Sosa. At plus 200 with just this matchup, just way too juicy to me. So I'll take Losando plus 205. Next bet, my friend.
We're going to go to the main event, and I'm going to go with the Josh Emmett and Kevin Vallejos fight to go over 3.5 rounds. Best odds, minus 105 over on Bet365 right now. Josh Emmett does enter this fight with a record of 19-6. He remains one of the most dangerous power punchers in the featherweight division. Even at this stage of his career, Emmett still carries legitimate knockout power and the ability to change a fight with a single shot. He lands 3.72 significant strikes per minute and absorbs 4.43, showing that durability is a major factor for him as he looks to counter more than attack. Emmett's average fight time sits just around 13 minutes. which does highlight how often his fights extended to deeper rounds. That experience could prove important in a 5-round main event where pacing and pressure will determine how long this fight does last. Kevin Vallejos on the other side, he sits 17-1, and he looks to be one of the more dangerous young strikers in the division. Vallejos pushes a much faster pace, landing 5.78 significant strikes per minute with a striking accuracy of 46%. His aggressive approach has produced several early finishes throughout his career. One of the interesting dynamics, I think, in this matchup, though, is how the pace of Vallejos will match up against the durability, patience, and experience of Josh Emmett. You look at Vallejos, he has a higher output, and he's clearly the more active striker. But Josh Emmett has faced elite competition for years. He's proven he can survive against dangerous opponents. And if you look, he fought Ilia Topuria, and they went 5 rounds. You know, if Vallejos can maintain his pace over 5 rounds, he will likely control portions of the striking exchanges, especially if Emmett is just looking to counter him the whole fight and try to, kind of keep out of range of not getting knocked out himself. But Emmett's ability, I think, to absorb damage and extend fights could force Vallejos into unfamiliar territory against, a dangerous power puncher. And I just think because of that, and because of both fighters possess knockout power and a willingness to stand and trade, I think there's going to be a possibility that this fight does evolve into more of a measured striking battle where both fighters just respect each other. And we may see it finish, but I think it might be later in the fight once these guys start to really warm up to each other and get going.
Yeah, I like it. My last one, another dog. I'm going Oki.
You dog.
20, the Zula Warrior, very explosive lightweight with serious knockout power, earned his contract of a first-round knockout in the Dana White Contender Series in 2023. Style has stayed consistent since then, aggressive, high outputting striking with the ability to hurt opponent quickly. Oki is at his best. He's a dangerous boxer, throws with real power in the pocket. Right hand's fast, heavy, does a lot of damage when he follows it up with a left uppercut combinations. Also very active, landing more than 6 strikes per minute. He uses good head movement and distance control when flowing offensively. Now, his last fight didn't go his way. He was stopped by Mason Jones, and in his earlier UFC one was submitted by Duncan. Those fights did expose some defensive holes, particularly when the fight hits the ground. So his takedown defense and grappling awareness are going to be key here in this matchup. On the other side, your boy Sosa is making his debut. That makes intros some unknown fighters step in the octagon for the first time. Sometimes they struggle with the moment, whether it's nerves, the pacing, adjusting, or the level of competition. That's why this fight feels very high variance matchup. The market actually expects it to end early, which is, you can see by the way the totals are priced. And if the fight that is expected ends quickly, having knockout power as the underdog is ideal. Okay, doesn't need 15 minutes to win the fight. All I really need is a one clean connection at plus 220, too juicy to pass up. So I'm on Oki plus 220.
That's going to be an awesome fight.
Dude,
awesome fight. I cannot believe you went against the Sosas, man.
Dude, I know. And you had your Sosa parlay with a nice
little... We got the Sosa parlay. We got Sosa music we could play.
I know.
I actually have not played that, but I was heavily debating it.
Let's go ahead if my internet connection here allows it, and it does.
I actually love the plays because I don't really love the newcomers to UFC. I usually don't ever put money on those on their first fights. So I think you're on cash one of those two. You're going to be in nice territory. Cash both of them. It's going to look really nice.
Really, really nice. Hopefully we can keep it going. Talk dirty to you, my friend. Let's look at this board here.
Just load it up, baby.
Just load it up.
How about Sosa and then Sosa? Nah, just kidding.
All right, let's talk it in.
I think Delgado is probably a lock. I really don't think Vallejos is a lock. Josh Emmett could catch him. You never know.
Yeah, I wouldn't. With both those guys.
I think Oralby is probably just going to wrestle Chris Curtis's dick into the ground. Sorry if there's kids listening. But he's kind of pricey, so let's look around and see what else we can find. Because I do respect Chris Curtis. What do we got at the cheaper end? Because I actually do like a lot of dogs on this fight, so we should get some value here.
Dude, my boy Oki.
I mean, if you want to put Oki, you might as well. I love it. I don't know, man. It feels like God, I don't hate it.
Yeah. Let's put Oki, dude. Let's do it. What about your girl Lemos?
Feels like
Lemos? Are we doing Lemos?
I don't know. What else can we find? Anything else we can find first? God, once I start looking at this, I don't really love anything.
Dude, my computer just had a freaking seizure, dude.
See, I was kind of thinking Sam Hughes. You're going against that. I think Elijah Smith is a hammer.
You want Smitty?
Mm-hmm.
Where's he at?
He's like 8,500.
Okay.
If you want to put your girl Rodriguez, I don't hate it, but I was debating Hughes. I don't think Hughes is a bad dog. I think that's going to be a decision fight. So it's like,
yeah.
Do we want to be something close, or do we want to find something there where maybe we can find an upside?
What about?
I think Silva's live against Johnson.
I mean, I think this girl is going to plow.
I'd rather have her and take out Rodriguez. I think Bruno Silva, as long as he's on the juice, I think he's going to beat Charles Johnson, and he's cheap.
Okay. So that leaves us with 84 hundo. And we can go back to my girl.
God, Silva is an idiot, though.
Oh, fucking
You like Silva?
I mean, I'm
we
not
could play Lemos. We could probably play Lemos and not Silva. Well, I guess she's $100 more.
Where's Lemos? Yeah, we
she's
could
$100 more.
Take out Rodriguez.
I am waiting because I want to see what lines are due, but I think Brad Tavares is going to beat Anders. Anders is looking to retire, is what I've heard.
Dude, I've heard both of those fuckers are looking to retire, dude.
I think Tavares sounds like he wants to keep trying to go.
Okay.
So if Anders is on his leg out, he's got some other kind of business venture he's really focused on right now. I'm just waiting on that line to kind of flip. There's books are all over the place. On one book, he's 105. On the other book, he's minus 120. So I'm kind of waiting to see if the lines start moving towards Tavares Saturday morning. I think that's a lock for sure.
So let's do this. Delgado, Oki, Smith, Lemos, Muskeski, and Tavares.
And who else can we put besides Tavares, just in case we don't want to put? It's really nobody, huh?
No one really.
We'd have to risk Silva.
You'd have to go down to my board with Cerdo.
I like that. Mosquita, that should be an easy. If we can get a finish by her, that would be awesome.
Wade, I'd like to thank you for taking time out of your schedule, talking a little UFC. When you tell the people where they can find you, given the fact your Twitter account got hacked.
Yeah, we're still working on it. I'm still going back and forth emails with X right now, so we'll see how that resolves. Right now, you can find me over on X at Proven Wagers VIP. Anywhere else, it's just at Proven Wagers. But come give me a follow. Come help me get my followers built back up. I'll be dropping. I dropped actually a free college basketball play with a free prop earlier this morning, and I'll be dropping my UFC article probably once we get off of this. So it'll be two articles with some free plays in there for you, and then will be some links in my bios to come join us in the Discord.
Make sure to give that man a follow. I believe there's a card next week. We'll be back next week. Appreciate you, man, and we will talk soon, brother.
Let's cash these, baby.